Kindness by itself isn't enough to make it in this world. If you're clinging to the idea that being a decent human being is all you need to carve out a win, you're wandering around in a delusion. And the gut punch is, deep down, you know it's a sham, even if you're too proud or too scared to face it. How many times have you felt like life is kicking you while you're down? Like people are wiping their boots on your back? How often have you done the right thing, held the line, stayed true, only to watch the recognition slip away? Or worse, see someone else use your effort as their springboard? You've been spoon-fed this rosy little lie since day one. Be good, be honest, be noble, and the world will reward you. But let's rip that bandage off. Reality doesn't give a damn about your halo. It hands the crown to the ones who know how to play the angles, the ones who see the board and move the pieces. Machiavelli wasn't some wide-eyed dreamer spinning tales. He was a man who stared into the guts of human nature and didn't blink. He saw what most of us pretend isn't there. People are driven by selfish impulses. Their loyalty shifts like sand in the wind, and they'll turn cruel when it suits them. In The Prince, he laid it out raw. Virtue without a sharp mind is a crack in your armor, and goodness without a plan is a one-way ticket to getting trampled. Stop and think about it. How many times have you fallen into that ditch? How many moments have you stood there, hands clean and heart open, only to watch the world shrug and move on? Or worse, take what you offered and run? Now, cast your mind to the people you admire, the ones who've climbed the peaks you dream about. Did they get there just by being nice? By handing out smiles and good vibes? Hell no. They made it because they knew when to slip into the shadows, when to play their cards close. They understood that morality isn't a chain, it's a tool. Knowing when to flash it and when to stash it is what separates the ones who get played from the ones who run the game. The issue isn't that you've got a conscience, it's that you've got no walls up. You walk around assuming everyone's on the same wavelength, playing by the same rules. But that's a fantasy you can't afford. The world's a jungle, teeming with predators draped in friendly smiles, hustlers who can smell a soft target from a mile off. And you, without even realizing it half the time, have been their perfect prey. This is where Machiavelli tosses you a rope, a way out of the mess, kindness with a spine. This isn't about turning into some cutthroat bastard or torching your principles. It's about pairing your heart with a cold, clear look at how things actually work. It's about learning to read the room, to clock people's motives before they even act, to figure out when to trust and when to lock it down tight. It's not betrayal, it's survival with your eyes open. Machiavelli hit us with a line that's echoed through centuries. It's better to be feared than loved if you can't pull off both. So, where have you pitched your tent? I'd bet my last dime you've been chasing love, approval, acceptance, that warm glow of being the good one. But what's that gotten you really? Not respect, not influence. Just a big neon sign that says, "Use me," blinking over your head. Because kindness without muscle doesn't spark awe. It breeds shrugs, maybe pity if you're lucky. Don't twist my words here. I'm not telling you to ditch your soul. I'm telling you to stop letting it hang out there defenseless. The world doesn't roll out the red carpet for the pure. It kneels to the cunning. True virtue isn't about bending over backward. It's about blending what's right with what gets results. Let's dig deeper into that, because Machiavelli wasn't just tossing out edgy one-liners. He was building a framework. He argued that how you're seen is the whole damn game. It's not just about what you are inside, it's about what people think they're dealing with when they size you up. If you project weakness, they'll treat you like a doormat. If you project strength, they'll pause before crossing you. How many times have you let someone's disrespect slide because you didn't want to lose their nod? How often have you swallowed your voice, kept the peace, only to realize you're losing ground every time you do? It's not about turning into a bully, it's about being deliberate. The art lies in knowing when to step up, when to speak, when to pull back, and when to push hard. Kindness can be your ace if you play it right, but if you let it run wild with no reins, it's the crack that sinks your ship. Too many good-hearted folks cling to this hope that the world's got a soft spot for purity. It doesn't. It's got a hunger for power, for security, for the ones who can make the tough calls without blinking. Kindness only gets a seat at the table when it's backed by authority. Without that, it's just a whisper in the wind. Machiavelli would look you dead in the eye and say, "Don't be a lamb wandering into a wolf den. Don't let your morals turn you into a punching bag. Real virtue isn't about lying down. It's about being sharp, about shaping the chaos around you instead of letting it drag you under. How much longer are you going to let people walk all over you? How many more times are you going to play the sucker because you're too naive to see the game? I'm not telling you to stop caring. I'm telling you to care smarter. Learn to move in the dark when it's called for, to flash a grin when it fits, and to show some teeth when the moment demands it. The world's not a merit badge system, but you can crack its code and still hold on to what makes you, you. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to turn you into a villain. He wrote it to hand you the keys to staying alive in a world that doesn't play nice. So, what's your next step? Are you going to keep betting on kindness to save the day? Or are you ready to weave in some real strategy? Let's pivot here, because there's a layer to this most people miss. Power isn't just about being strong, it's about looking like you are. It's not enough to have the brains or the guts. You've got to beam it out so everyone knows it. In this brutal dance, perception trumps reality 9 times out of 10. Ever wonder why some half-baked clown climbs higher than a quiet genius? Or why a smooth-talking schemer soars while the honest worker eats dust? That's not a fluke. It's the game at work. People don't rally behind the good or the just. They follow the one who looks like they've got the reins, the one who spins the narrative their way. Machiavelli saw it crystal clear. What people believe about you is the real coin of the realm. Let's unpack that perception angle, because it's a beast worth wrestling with. Think about the last time you saw someone command a room, not with shouting or flexing, but with that quiet, unshakable vibe that makes you lean in. That's not luck, that's craft. They've mastered the art of projecting what they want you to see. Now flip it. How often have you dimmed your own light, shrunk back, let people assume you're less than you are? Maybe it's fear of rocking the boat, or maybe it's just habit from years of being told to stay humble. But here's the rub. Humble gets you overlooked. Machiavelli's point wasn't about faking it, it was about steering the story. If you let others write your script, they'll cast you as the extra, not the lead. How many opportunities have you missed because you didn't step up and own the frame? Now, let's dive into a darker corner that ties this all together, controlling what you let out into the world. Ever notice how the heavy hitters always seem to have an edge, like they're holding a piece of the puzzle you can't see? That's not magic, it's strategy. They know when to talk and when to clam up. Naive folks think total honesty is some kind of moral gold star, that spilling every thought and detail is the upright way to live. But let's get real. Information is leverage, and you don't toss leverage around like it's pocket change. Machiavelli put it blunt. A leader's gotta mask their true moves, not because they're out to deceive for kicks, but because in a world where everyone's angling for an edge, the one who shows their full hand gets gutted. You've got to learn to parcel out what you say. Drop just enough to keep them guessing, and keep a shroud of mystery hanging around you. The second you're an open book, you're done. Predictable, manageable, disposable. Think about someone you respect, someone who's got that pull, that quiet gravity. Are they the type to blab every thought, to lay their whole life out on the table? Or do they hold back, keep you wondering what's behind the curtain? That's not an accident. It's a choice. Too many people confuse spilling their guts with strength, thinking if they don't bear it all, they're being shady. But it's not about lying. It's about directing the flow. How many times have you overshared and felt the sting later? Trusted the wrong person with too much? Blurted out something that came back to bite you? Or maybe you've over-explained yourself to people who didn't even deserve the airtime? Power isn't in flapping your jaws. It's in knowing when to zip it. The less you give away, the more they lean in. And that curiosity. That's your hook. Let's take that a step further, because it's not just about silence. It's about unpredictability. If people can map your every move, they've got you on a leash. Same reactions, same patterns, same old song and dance. You're a puppet, and they're pulling the strings. But if you keep them off balance, make them wonder what you'll do next. You're a force, and forces get respect. Machiavelli knew this in his bones. A leader you can read like a cheap novel is a dead leader walking. But one who shifts gears, who dodges the pigeonhole, who keeps you guessing, that's the one who holds the throne. Look at your own life. How often have you been the predictable one, the safe bet, the guy they know they can count on to roll over? Now imagine flipping that. Imagine being the one they can't pin down, the one who's got them second guessing. Are you ready to stop being the open page and start being the riddle? Kindness without a playbook is just a welcome mat for the wolves. The world's not going to rewrite its rules to suit your soft spots, so you'd better learn the real ones, not the sugar-coated ones they fed you growing up. Play it right, and you're not just scraping by. You're setting the pace. But here's a twist that ties it tighter. Scarcity jacks up your value. If you're always there, always reachable, always giving, you're cheap. Pull back, make yourself a rare commodity, and they'll start hunting for you. Absence isn't weakness, it's a flex. How many times have you poured your all into someone, some job, some cause, only to watch them shrug when you needed a hand back? That's not a glitch in the system, it's the system. People trash what's plentiful and chase what's scarce. Ever notice how the ones who don't stick around every second get the loudest cheers when they show up? Let's stretch that out because it's a thread worth pulling. Think about the people in your life who carry that weight, that presence. Are they the ones who are always hovering, always saying yes, always at your beck and call? Or are they the ones who show up when it counts, who leave you wondering where they've been? That's not random. It's human wiring at work. When you're too available, you're a utility, not a prize. When you step back, dose out your time and energy like it's gold, people start to notice the gap. How many times have you burned yourself out trying to be everything to everyone, only to end up with nothing in return? That's the trap Machiavelli's pointing you away from. Don't be the ever-present shadow. Be the storm that rolls in when it's time. Now, let's pivot to another gear, emotional control. Most people think power's about volume, yelling, flexing, throwing your weight around like a bull in a china shop. They're dead wrong. Real power's in keeping your cool when the heat's on, when everyone else is losing their damn minds. Lose your grip, let anger or panic take the wheel, and you're a toy for anyone to wind up. Stay steady, keep your center, and you're a rock they can't budge. Machiavelli saw it clear as day. A smart player moves with ice in their veins, not fire. It's not about shutting off your feelings, it's about not letting them run you. Think back to the last time someone got under your skin, made you snap, pushed you to react without thinking. Who held the power then? Not you. It was the one who flipped your switch. Now, imagine flipping that script. They poke, they prod, but you don't budge. You're the one calling the shots. Let's linger there, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Emotional control isn't just about looking tough. It's about staying untouchable. Picture a negotiation, a fight, even a casual jab from a friend. The one who cracks first, who lets the mask slip, They're the one who loses ground. How many times have you handed someone the upper hand because you couldn't bite your tongue or hold your temper? Now, think of the flip side. Someone tries to rile you up, but you don't flinch. They're left swinging at air, and you're still standing. That's not just power, it's dominance. Machiavelli's whole deal was about keeping that cold calculation in play, about not being the reactive animal anyone can bait. You've seen it in action, haven't you? The ones who don't blink, who don't break, they're the ones people don't mess with. Then there's the slow burn, the long game, strategic patience. Everyone's out here chasing the quick hit, instant wins, fast respect, power right now. But the real players, the ones who last, they wait. They watch, they weigh, they strike when the moment's ripe. Machiavelli said, fortune favors the ones who bend with the wind, not the ones charging headfirst into every gust. Are you still the type to leap without looking, to swing at every pitch? Or can you hold back, let the board settle, and move when the time's perfect? Think of a hunter stalking prey. They don't fire at the first rustle. They track, they measure, they wait until the shot's a lock. That's the game of power. It's not the fastest who win. It's the ones who hit it the right second. Let's pull that apart because patience isn't sexy, but it's deadly. Most people burn out chasing the now. They want the applause today, the payoff yesterday. But look at history's big dogs, the generals, the tycoons, the artists who left a mark. They didn't sprint through every door. They picked their battles, bided their time, let the impatient trip over themselves. How many times have you jumped the gun and regretted it? Rushed a choice, spoke too soon, acted before the dust settled? Now flip it. Imagine watching the chaos unfold, keeping your powder dry, then stepping in when everyone else is spent. That's not just smart, it's surgical. Power doesn't belong to the hasty. It belongs to the ones who can wait out the storm. Now tie it all together: perception, silence, unpredictability, scarcity, cool-headedness, patience, and you're not just in the game, you're rewriting the damn rulebook. The world's still a meat grinder, but now you've got the tools to grind back. So, what's your play? Keep eating dirt, hoping kindness pulls you through, or start moving like you've got a pulse? Machiavelli didn't sketch this out for you to fade into the wallpaper. He did it so you could stand tall in the mess. But here's the kicker that takes it further. Knowing all this isn't enough. You've got to act on it. You can sit there with this in your head, nodding along, or you can start shifting. Small moves, quiet tests. Hold back a word next time you're tempted to overshare. Let someone wonder where you stand. Watch how they react when you don't jump at their call. Little shifts that stack up, that turn you from the guy they lean on into the one they can't figure out. The world doesn't shift for you. You've got to shift it. How many times have you stayed the same old you, hoping things would change on their own? That's the trap. Sameness breeds sameness. If you want a different outcome, you've got to be a different player. Not a cartoon villain, not a saint on a pedestal. Just someone who gets it, who sees the strings and starts pulling them. Ever watch someone transform their life? Not with loud drama, but with quiet, steady moves. That's the ticket. You don't need a spotlight, you need a plan. How long are you going to let the old habits run the show? The ones that keep you small, keep you safe, keep you stuck. You're not just aiming to survive, you're aiming to own it. Machiavelli's whole gig was about thriving in a world that doesn't give a damn about your feelings. So, take this and run with it. Start controlling your image, not just letting it flop around for others to judge. Start metering out your words, your time, your energy like they're worth something, because they are. Start being the one they can't predict, the one they can't ignore, the one they don't dare cross. The world's not going to hand you a throne, but you can damn well build one. Are you in or are you out? Drop "power is in the silence below" if you're picking up what I'm laying down, let's see who's ready to stop playing nice and start playing smart.